The views and opinions expressed by participants in the following public affairs program do not necessarily reflect the position or beliefs of WDEF or its staff.
Since 1954, this is Point of View, the world record-holding public affairs program produced at the studios of WDEF-TV Chattanooga and with underwriting community support.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Point of View. I'm Donna Christian Lowe, your co-host for today. Today we're talking about workforce development and career readiness and job placement. There are so many programs across the city, one on every corner. You can go on Facebook or social media and have access to programs to better your skills or to help write a resume. But what are the outcomes of those programs? Do we get to see the faces of those impacted and affected? Today you do. So today we have Dr. David Banks. Thank you, with the City of Chattanooga Career Development and Workforce Development.
That's right.
It's a big title, right? But we have our star of the show today, who is Clifford Braswell. Clifford, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're going to jump out first of all. What is it you do? Now, you have a 3-hour training program that you're kind of like a rock star going around the city talking to everyone. What is the program about and what's the objective?
Well, the whole focus of success in life in the workplace is to really help people to get prepared. We feel like that's the first thing that needs to do. Mentally get themselves ready. So when they go for the interview, but not only, Donna, just helping them to get a job, but to really give them the skills to succeed in life, but also once they get the job to move up into management. So just really helping them to get their confidence up and really prepare. It's all about preparation.
Now, there are programs everywhere. We know this, and they're great programs. For the most part, every program, I think you could go and get something out of it. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
But this particular program, we've had great success because you, Clifford, amongst many more, I believe you were telling me somewhere around 15 people have been hired through your program over the last 3 or 4 months, maybe? Is that right?
Yes, very much so.
And you were one of those hires. So how did you find this program, and how did you get to be the rock star? Because you ended up landing a great job.
Yes, I did. I ended up going to a job fair at Eastdale Center, and I saw Dr. Banks here, and his personality, his eye-to-eye contact, firm handshake make me want to just keep myself moving on, making the further steps to see what's going on.
Now, your story is interesting because you were actually employed,
yes,
had a good job, had everything you needed. There were a few things that weren't so good about the job, but you went anyway. So kind of tell us about that.
Well, the other job, it was a good job. I liked the people, you know, and everything was good except I had some health issues with the job. Everything else was good except the health issues.
Well, we can't go to work having health issues, right?
Right.
So you decided, I'm going to go and just see what's available. You meet someone who evidently he was also doing the same thing he's teaching people to do with a firm handshake, right? So he had it together. But you go there, you meet Dr. Banks, you get on the big America Job Center bus.
That's right.
And then what happens?
Well, we talked. I did the application thing, and he walked me into the center and talked with this lady, Michelle. She did the paperwork for me, and we went from there, and she told me when I come, what'd she say, interview ready.
Interview ready.
That's right.
It's kind of like we are today, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you went interview ready.
Yes.
And then what happened? You got a job.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 days later.
Hold up. How many days? 3 or 4?
3 or 4 days.
You know that doesn't happen. That's really unheard of.
Yes, I was really excited.
Nice.
I was really excited.
So to end of that positive story, you turned your notice in and you went to a new job. Are you on that job now?
Yes, I am.
Now, can we ask who you're working for?
Tranco Logistics.
A pretty good company. Yeah.
Yes,
they were actually, I don't know, some kind of chamber business of the year last year or something. So that's phenomenal.
I didn't know that.
So back to Dr. Banks. So you get a lot of people in your class, and you can't make people do something. How are you convincing these participants to go through the program and then literally to jump into a job? What are you doing to encourage them?
Well, one of the things, Donna, I really asked a lot of questions in my training. And the first question is, do you really like your present situation? And if you don't, it's all about choices. It's all about making a decision. So when people decide, I want more, I want better, then that really opens them up to the principles that I'm sharing with them. And definitely with Clifford coming to, we had the collaboration with the bus tour with American Job Center at YFD Eastdale Center. It just really the community coming together, working together, and it is awesome to see Clifford here now, gainfully employed, and it just lets you know it does work. I hear so many people saying, Dr. Bank, there are no jobs, and that is not right. If you do what you need to do. Clifford did exactly what he was asked to do, and that's why he's here.
And you know, if we had one of those disclaimers that said this is not a typical time frame that this happens, I would say that, because usually time to fill is around 30 days. But going back to this program, now I've done my research, I've participated in your class. It's everyone from, I don't know, someone who does house cleaning all the way to executives can participate. Now there's one piece of information you give to everyone. It talks about designed. Can you share that with our viewers, that we're literally designed? It was an aha moment for me.
Well, I tell people the obvious. You know, I have people to stand and really help them to understand you are designed to move forward.
Literally.
Exactly. That's how you're physically made. To really help people to stay motivated, because so many times life can throw things, knock you down, get you discouraged. But I always try to help people to remember you were designed to move forward. Now you have to do that and start moving forward.
And you kind of make people do this to kind of say, okay, I'm physically, you know, so it really hit me that way. But before we leave, we've got a few minutes left. I want to make sure people know how to get to be a part of this. There's some viewer out there, viewers, saying, wait a minute, if this guy can do it in 4 days, I know I can do it in less than that, maybe, who knows? So a couple of things. One, what I heard you say is you didn't stop, you just went. What is one piece of really good advice, though, you would give to the viewers?
Move forward. Take your steps in sequence as you should, and you will succeed.
Excellent.
And Dr. Banks, a few things. Now, there are people who are stuck in mid-management who I know could benefit from your class. I did. But how do you convince them that this class, where I might be sitting next to someone who works in a warehouse, or how do you make them comfortable? How do you compel someone to come to your class knowing that might be a challenge?
Excellent. Well, when I have people to come to this class, regardless what other economic level they're on, is to help them to focus where I am and where do you want to go. We do a time in the training to help people dream. So we want people to realize wherever they want to go, if they want to go in upper management or if they just want gainful employment, here are the steps that we do that. And we work with several partners. We work with Kelly Services. We work with Outsource. We work with MSI. So we have various people, because I look at myself, I train. That's what I do.
So let's clarify, you're not giving people jobs, because we've had people call different places in the offices saying, does Dr. Banks give jobs? No, he doesn't give jobs.
Exactly.
So you're handing that baton off to your partners.
Exactly. I do the training, and I feel like I do it very well, and then I hand it off to the people that I just shared with, and then they take it. Definitely we keep in touch with them, but we want this to be a collaborative effort. And the system that we have now is working well.
Well, there's many programs, like I said, in the city, and who knows, another program could be on next week that offers something very similar, right? But it's about what timing is good for you. It's about what program fits you and your needs. And Clifford, this obviously fit your need. So we have less than a minute left. I want to make sure we give a few pieces of information. First, we want to thank Tranco Logistics for hiring you. I don't even think that these clients and these people, these vendors, these companies, know how some of their people get to them, right? They just know we got a great guy and we're going to employ him. But thanks to Tranco Logistics for taking you on as an employee. They're very fortunate. If someone wants to get in your class, or they want to sign up for the class, or even have a class, they may have 10 or 15 they want trained. How do they contact you?
They can give me a call, 423-643-6804, or Chattanooga.gov.
Wonderful.
Be more than happy to have them to call me, and we'll take them from there.
Thank you, Dr. Banks. Clifford, appreciate you coming and joining me this time. Epilepsy in 2017. Do you have it? Could your family members have it? That and more when Point of View continues.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it here. So what are you waiting for? Just go to the site.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Living with Epilepsy in 2017. I'm Nikki Nicholson, and I'm here with my co-host, Amy, and our special guest, Shanice, who is locally known throughout the city of Chattanooga. And he's also a member of the Epilepsy Foundation of the Southeast Tennessee, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Awesome. So can you just explain to us what exactly is epilepsy?
It's a good question. That's interesting, too, because I was just at a school this morning, Orchard Knob, had a great time with the students there, and there's about 80 kids in the classroom, and I said, has anyone ever heard of epilepsy? And like 3 out of 80 raised their hand. I'm like, okay. You ever heard of anyone having seizures, or do you know anybody who has seizures? Half the room raised their hand. So typically, epilepsy is once an individual has more than one unprovoked seizure. They technically have epilepsy. Their brain, if they put a scan on their brain, it would show spikes in the brain activity that would indicate an epileptic seizure. Unprovoked meaning if an individual were to have too much alcohol, pain pill mixture, they could provoke a seizure. They could make their brain kind of misfire.
So you can have epilepsy and not even know, and then one day something just provokes it.
There could be something, sometimes it happens from a traumatic brain injury. With little children, it'll happen from extreme temperatures. Their brain can't handle it. Trauma, physical trauma, mental trauma that takes place in an individual's life, and it may happen at the time of the trauma, or it could happen several years down the road just as the brain kind of continues to get affected by those things. But it's basically a neurological disorder where the brain misfires. Misfiring in the electrical activity of the brain, individual has seizures because of that.
So who can get epilepsy? Is it any certain age or race or male or female? What's that look like?
For the most part, most studies show that this is just kind of across the board. It doesn't matter if it's high economic, low economic, black, white, Hispanic, male, female. Roughly, it's about 1 in 100 who has epilepsy, general population. When we get into children under the age of 18, about 1 in 50. Over the age of 65, it's about 1 in 50 also, because the brain is more susceptible when we're young, still forming. As we go through life, now we've hit a lot of things that have happened to our brain. We've been experiencing trauma for many years. Strokes are more prevalent. When you're younger, autism develops. So things that are already affecting the brain, now epilepsy becomes more common with those individuals because their brain's already impacted.
I see. So I have a dear friend who actually suffers with epilepsy. And if she would have never told me, I would have never known. This woman is a rock star. She's very successful. And I find myself trying to learn more about epilepsy, not just so I could be more empathetic, but also so I could know how to help her if she needs help. What are the signs that I would need as a person that's uneducated about epilepsy?
You can't tell just from looking at someone that, oh, they have epilepsy, right?
Right. Most people think of epilepsy meaning a seizure that is grand mal, is what it used to be called. Tonic-clonic is what it's called now. Someone's on the floor, they're convulsing, they're shaking, they're foaming at the mouth, they're biting their tongue. That happens. That's the big one. But there are 40 different kinds of seizures.
Wow.
The majority of the kinds of seizures, an individual could be having it happen in their life, could be showing some of the symptoms. They won't know they're showing the symptoms because when it's happening, their brain is misfiring. People who see it happening may not even know what's happening.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Now, I've heard parents say that when they've seen their kids maybe display this or a loved one, they've actually taped it so they can kind of verify that and make sure. Have you heard of that, or is that a suggestion you would give to people?
It would be a huge suggestion to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For instance, we have a little girl who's in our support group, and what she'll do, she doesn't know she's doing it, but she may just...
See, I wouldn't know. I would just think that's a nervous tick or something.
Right. Would she?
She may just zone out for 5 or 6 seconds. She kind of picks. So she may just pick.
Interesting.
And then kind of come back. May look a little disoriented for a second, and then
so someone might not
just
even
join right back in the
notice,
conversation. So people around her would just think.
Especially if they're on their cell phones, as likely.
Oh, most people are, most people don't pay attention to each other anyway. Most of us are bad listeners. We're not aware of each other. So some people could be having things happening, the little things. Would they know
that it's happening? Would they themselves know that that's happening at that moment?
For instance, this little girl, she was having this for several years. She wouldn't know it. People who saw her would just say, she spaces out, she doesn't pay attention very well. The clue was, though, she would tell her mom or her teachers sometimes that she saw colors. It's like, Mom, I saw colors today. Mom would be like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad that you're not colorblind. You know, I don't know what that means. Tell her teachers that. It took them several years to realize, oh, when she talks about seeing colors, and we also noticed that day this little odd picking behavior where she's not responding to anyone talking to her, they finally realized, oh, that's her brain warning her. So she'll have an aura. It could be visual, smell, taste, touch, but something happens out of the norm to warn the person. They may not know what happens next, but they know, oh, this is happening. A lady who's works at a daycare up in Hickson, she'll know, she'll start to feel it in her stomach. And now over the years, she knows when I feel that, it's not upset stomach. So she'll say, hold the baby. They actually have a little room that she goes in. She'll just go into that room for a couple minutes. And the teachers just continue on. A couple minutes, they'll go over and check on her. She's kind of back, a little out of it, but she's back. But not everyone has that.
Yeah.
Some people, it'll happen. They have no clue until they kind of come to and realize, oh man, something's weird. I was standing here and now I'm over across the room, or now I'm on the ground, or now I just feel weird.
So does the foundation, does it help educate people more so on things like this?
That's a big push. Education and advocacy are the two biggest things that I get to do. So I was at Orchard Knob this morning to talk to the students. Like, if you see this happen, don't be scared. Here's what it means. Here's the videos. For the teachers in the classroom, when you see that little kid kind of spacing out, zoning out, they're not responding, their eyes, maybe their pupils are dilated, maybe they're doing something funny with their mouth for 5-10 seconds, don't assume they're just not listening and call them out and bring them to the front of the classroom and get louder. Some kids, they're just spacing out, but some kids are actually experiencing these little absence seizures. Or when you see someone at nighttime and you say, oh, they sleepwalk, they get up and wander around. Sometimes people who sleepwalk aren't sleepwalking. Sleepwalkers tend to do things like rearrange stuff, eat food, watch TV, tell you a story, don't remember it the next day. There's other people who sleepwalk where they mostly just kind of wander, don't really talk, don't really do anything, don't really do actions. Those are more likely could be seizure activity as opposed to just sleepwalking. So part of it is to educate people. In that education, we're doing advocacy at the same time. So when you see that happening, work with the student. Employer, when you see this happening, your employee might have epilepsy, or if the employee has epilepsy, that means they may be late sometimes to work. They may not want to tell you I have seizures, because then an employer might say, oh, you do, okay. Position just got filled. So sorry. We're so sorry that. So we do some advocacy to say, look, the person can still work for you. They can still be safe. My friend Andrew, one place he worked, they had like a 2 or 3 inch foam pad that was under his workstation, just in case something were to happen. If he were to fall out, he could be safe.
We have a few minutes left.
Yeah, I can get on a roll with this stuff.
Knowing about that you have it is half the battle,
Yes. Really quick, can you tell people how to get in contact with you if they want to learn more, if they want you to come and educate others as well?
Oh, we'd love to. Go to schools, churches especially. Some people have a seizure and individuals say, oh, they just had a demon attack, or they just had maybe something in their life isn't resolved and the Lord's getting their attention. Many different things. So we like to educate as much as possible. Our website, epilepsy-setn, Southeast Tennessee, epilepsy-setn.org. Facebook, Epilepsy Foundation of Southeast Tennessee, Twitter, same kind of thing. That keeps people up there, and here's what we're doing, here's events, here's ways you can reach out to us. All the services we do are free. Please get a hold of us.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy, and thank you, Shanice?
Shaughnessy.
Shaughnessy, I love your name, Shaughnessy.
All right,
thank you, and we'll love to have you come back again. There's so much more that we need to learn and know. This was a great having you on this show today.
Well, cool. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time.
Zombies everywhere. Have you signed up for the 2017 Fun Zombie Run? Next on The Next Point of View.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
Welcome to the spooky segment of Point of View. I'm your co-host, Jasmine Holland. With me is co-host Nikki Nicholson, and we are here to introduce you to Christian Patiño.
Hey.
With Christian, as you can see, is zombie number 1, and someone that represents Dia de los Muertos. So Christian,
yes.
Talk to us about why the zombie and this beautiful Dia de los Muertos is here today.
Well, the logo is half Dia de los Muertos and then half zombie. The race is going to be on the 11th of November, and Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is on the 1st and 2nd of November. So we wanted to have a Latino cultural holiday with this fun run. Now, I would also like to mention that this is the first ever fun run 5K that is a zombie run themed. Now, there has been a zombie walk before,
right?
But this is the first one that's going to be the 5K fun run. Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of life, really.
Oh,
and so we thought it would be great to have an event that's a celebration of life with the Latino community, and also invite families to come out and have a great time running and running away from zombies as well.
Perfect.
Yes.
So how do you sign up? How do you sign up to an event like this?
It is super easy. So you go to our website, zombierun.run, where you can sign up. There's also a QR code on posters around town where you can sign up with your phone. And I highly advise that people sign up before November 4th for the early bird registration price.
Oh, wow.
After that, it's going to be a little more expensive.
Oh, okay. Okay. But that's so exciting. So it's going to be downtown, though, right?
Correct. It's going to start at the Tennessee Pavilion, go down Chestnut, on the Riverwalk, and finish at the pavilion as well.
So what time do we have to be there?
I recommend being there at 8 o'clock in the morning to get your packet, because, runners are going to receive a shirt, a lovely medal, and also what's different about this fun run is they're going to have like football flags, a belt of 3 flags, where zombies are going to chase them and take your life away from you.
Well, is this?
Like this.
Is this? Can children run for their lives as well?
They can, but they have to be 13 years of age or older.
13.
And you can either opt to be a runner and run away from the zombies, or be a zombie and try to get the runners. So this is the fun part of the event as well, or the run, is that you can choose to be a runner or chase after people and try to scare them like this guy here is doing.
Yes,
great job. He's doing a great job at it.
Yeah, definitely. So this is going to be a good way to run. It gives
Correct.
you a good motivation to run. It's going to be in the Halloween season, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about wearing. What should people wear? So everyone who's running, if you want to get dressed up as a zombie, how do they look like a zombie?
Well, we're going to have somebody at the registration booth that is going to do the face painting. As you can see, that person has done this zombie and this Dia de los Muertos individual.
Pretty scary stuff,
So it's pretty cool. You can dress however you want. And if you want to dress up in a Halloween costume or outfit, you're more than welcome to do so. So the more fun and festive you are, the better for the event.
Will this be something that will continue through the years on now? Is this the first and last, or is the first and many more to come?
Great question, and thank you for asking that. This is the first one of many to come. And so we're going to do it around major holidays that are going to be themed. The good thing about this is that we want to make sure that organizations are benefiting as well.
Okay.
Since this is done around a Latino holiday, the Latino organization or nonprofit that's going to benefit is going to be La Paz Chattanooga.
La Paz Chattanooga. This is awesome. You know, there's nothing like a good scare.
Definitely.
A good scare, but it's all in it's all in fun. Because we're laughing. But I really want people to know that, you know, this is a great way for the kids to come out with their family, their mom, their dads, even their grandparents, and run for a cause.
Right.
And so, can you give more information just about this cause? I know this is about bringing people together and educating people, but...
Well, so the organization that's going to benefit is La Paz Chattanooga, and they are a wonderful organization because they really help the Latino and Hispanic community thrive here in Chattanooga through connecting them to the right resources so that they can thrive and really flourish here in the city. They do a ton of things from social work to English classes to also building individuals' skill sets and abilities so they can thrive here from a business lens. So it really is an amazing organization. And we're happy to, give part of the proceeds to them so they can keep on fulfilling their mission here in Chattanooga. And of course, we want to see a richly diverse Chattanooga with a thriving Latino population. So this helps that cause.
Yeah, that's perfect. So let's talk about the game rules
Yes.
first. Okay, so I want people to be prepared. I don't want them just running around, hiding behind trees. I know they're pretty scary. Definitely don't wear heels. But let's talk about the rules. So we have the flags around our waist, right?
Yes.
And so you start running, and zombies just start behind you. They just come from anywhere.
Well, I'm
How
not
many
going to
flags
give
do
too
we
much
get?
information.
Oh,
You get
okay,
3
leave it
flags,
excitement.
and they're going to be in different spots throughout the course.
Okay.
So we don't want people to just see them, but we want them to maybe come out of some hidden areas or spots where they can scare people. We're also going to have a training for zombies on how they can run. Obviously, we don't want sprinter zombies to outrun people because we want it to be a fun event.
Right.
There's going to be hydration stations and zombie safe zones. So you can rest there. You can re-up your life if you're missing 2 or 3 flags.
I was going to ask about the life.
Yeah.
What if you lose all your lives? Can you keep running?
Yeah, you can still finish the race. We're not going to not give you a medal. So runners are going to receive the shirt and a medal and the flags around the waist. So yeah, that's how it's going to happen. We recommend people coming at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Registering, getting all their stuff, warming up, stretching. It's important to stretch. And again, we want to make sure that people register. So the best is going to be the early bird,
right?
Which is the last day for the early bird is November the 4th, and it's $40.
40.
After that is going to be.
And that's for both the runners and the zombies.
Correct.
Okay.
And after that, it's going to bump up to $60. So register today. There's an easy way to register by going to zombierun.run. The posters have QR codes.
Yeah.
You can use your phone, register right there and then, or go to our Facebook page as well. So we're making it very easy for people to register. Again, we want the whole family to be able to come, bring your kids. And if you have little ones, there's also going to be spectator zones. So you can also sit down and enjoy, the show, I guess, as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, are there any things you would recommend people not to do or not to wear, seeing as they're open to wear costumes?
Yes. Well, if you're going to wear a costume, make sure that you can move, because some costumes are really cool and fun.
Right. They always look
very
good.
restrictive. And remember, it is
Like
going to be a
heels.
5K. Yeah, no heels
No
for
heels.
sure, or shoes like this. No new shoes, because new shoes tend to give you blisters. So just wear something comfortable, an outfit that's going to be comfortable and give you range of motion, and just be ready to have fun, really. That's what I recommend.
Great.
Yeah.
So last time, the website to go to is zombierun.run, right?
Yes.
And what's the Facebook page? Zombie Run, and
Zombie Run, yeah.
Zombierun.com. Perfect. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming. I definitely want to thank these zombies for scaring us and giving everybody a good taste of what's going on. Thank you, Nikki, for helping me ask questions.
Thank you, guys.
Many Americans know what it feels like to be lonely, even in a crowd. That and more on the next Point of View.
Closed captioning provided by the following.
Funding for this program is brought to you by Barnett & Company, specializing in tax-efficient strategies for the preservation and distribution of family wealth, offering continuous investment management with a focus on long-term strategies. Areas of service include investment, estate, education, and retirement planning. Barnett & Company, the power of compound returns over time. More information can be found on the web at barnettandcompany.com.